Okay everyone, welcome to the channel, and this week we have a Meta 50. As you can see, it's similar to many storm cookers. This one is not complete, and it isn't the original strap, as that was broken. I got this from an army surplus store, the strap, and replaced it. Now the Meta 50s are quite interesting. They actually predate Trangya. It was the early 30s when the patent was first put in. You can see the diagram up here or here, wherever I put it. This one comes with its frying pan or pot lid. This is not an original pot grab. I had to acquire one as it didn't have it. It stores with the burner inside, and this is the burner. As you can see, a lot of the chrome is starting to come off, but that's no problem. Air holes to let it in, and trademark registered Meta, made in Switzerland, and it has the N50 stamp on it. These originally would have burnt Meta tablets, which were spirit, and they are no longer available, so I use Esbit, which is hexamine. I will not be using this indoors. As you can see, there is a large hole for the burner. A Svea or Trangya military burner is actually too small for this, but if you lower these tabs, it can rest on it. I would not be doing that, of course. Now I'll just put this back in, get it lined up. There we are. Now these tabs would bend down over the top to hold it in place. Obviously I wouldn't use it with the military alcohol burner, as after a while these would get broken. If we have a good look at it, we can see lots of air holes to provide air, plus air holes in the side of the burner. And you can face this into the wind and it will allow quite a good simmer. It is very similar to the Optimus Ranger type stoves, the military one and also the 81. And it is quite possible that these were the ones that everyone else copied, including Trangya. Although we can say that it was probably the idea of putting in the alcohol burner was a lot better than using the solid fuel. But we'll wait and see. The top fits on. It doesn't have any bayonet fitting, it just slides on the top. The pot fits in just like the Optimus Rangers frying pan. Originally, as you can see in this diagram here, there would have been a ring that would have fitted on and allowed, putting the ring here would have allowed another pot to sit and stack. Trangia and Optimus in their storm cookers have graded pots, so one side will stack together, but if you use it the other way round, they'll rest on top of each other, so you can use the two pots, one to keep one warm, one to cook. I'll just move this out of the way. A lot of dust and bits of chrome coming off this. As you can see, this works very well as a lid, and you can also use it as a sort of mini oven. As you saw earlier in the patent photo, we have this handy trapdoor, and this would have been to allow the Meta tablets to be put in while the stove was in use. I do not have the original Meta pot grabber, and I've also tried using a Svea pot grabber and an Optimus pot grabber, which are solid. The Trangia ones have holes so they catch the fuel tablets, so they're no use. The only trouble is using an aftermarket grabber. The pot gets in the way a bit. I can manage to slide it in, and what we'll do, just out of interest, we'll give it a shot and see if we can actually manage. No, it will not work. We'll just drop that one in there, and away we go. So as I said, these date from originally from the 1930s. I do not know when this one is from at all. There's no dates on anything that I can see, so I wouldn't be able to know. This is smaller than the ones in the patent diagram. I don't know when this would have been from. Now, this will boil up about 300 mils of water in about 7.5 to 8 minutes, depending on the environment, and that would use about 2.5 of these 4-gram blocks. Technically, one block burns for about 5 minutes, supposedly. In the wind, etc., they're going to blow out a bit more. These are made of hexamine, but unlike other hexamine tablets I've had, they don't smell like fish. When I was younger, we used to use the NATO folding military stoves. Younger, I'm talking about when I would be early teens. They were cheap. You bought them with a pack of Esbit inside, and I remember that they took ages to burn. This is a much more efficient cooker. It will boil water in about the same time as a Trangia or an Optimus. Probably the only one that would be faster would be the Optimus Ranger, which has a very, very interesting setup, and I'll be showing you one of them in the future. Now, I had actually done this video already, but I decided to redo it for you, as I was using a new camera setup, and I just wasn't happy. The old setup that I had was using an old Huawei mobile phone, excellent lens, etc., but unfortunately the autofocus had managed to go out, so it wasn't good for filming. I've now got a DJI Osmo Action 4, so it's not the best in low light. I'm having to use a light on it at the moment, but we'll see how it goes. Now I'm going to take this outside rather than have fumes everywhere indoors. We'll light it and we'll see how it goes. As I said before, when I've been testing this, under 8 minutes to boil 300 mils of water in the pot with the lid on. I will probably have to put in another tablet of the Esbit, and I'll do that, I won't be using the chute because I have no way of using it properly, so I'll just drop it in the top. One thing that did get me about using the chute on the originals is that you're going to be charging up your Esbit burner, and the end of this is going to get a bit hot maybe. You'd have to be quick, but I think it's a lovely idea, and if only I had the original pot grab, it would be great. There are even older ones dating from the 1920s, older designs that is, so I will probably be keeping an eye out. But as far as I know, the UK has restricted sale of hexamine tablets, as they can be used as an ingredient for making explosives, supposedly. I wouldn't know myself. So, bear with me. I'm going to take this outside, we'll set it up, and we'll see how long it takes to boil 300 mils of water. Okay, so we're outside. That's both the blocks burning. Just see if we can let you have a quick look at them. And I will just watch it. There we go. So we just leave this to go, and we'll see how long it takes. It's already been 3 minutes. It's quite an elegant design. We'll just turn it around so that it's more in the wind. I just thought I'd point out that the base gets very hot. Luckily it's sitting on a silicone mat. I can actually smell the hexamine and I can see the amount of heat that is being given off at the sides. It's 4 minutes. And we can see it steaming away already. There's a little bit of wind today. It'll be interesting if we can see if we can manage it with 2 tablets instead of 2.5. Let's just see how the tablets are doing. Yep, we will have to fire in another one. It's a shame that the chute isn't working, but we can just drop one in, fire it up. And that should be enough to get it to boiling on the Meta 50. And as the saying goes, a watched pot never boils. It's starting to boil there, and we're just at 7 minutes. Although we did have a time when there was nothing burning. That's it starting to boil there. That would be usable for a meal. We'll just wait until we get a rolling boil. And if we have a look in, we can still see that there's a slight bit of Esbit left. So basically, that's at the 8 minutes, and it's boiled up the water. I'm just going to let it boil now, as we burn off the last piece of the Esbit. Interestingly, the Esbit tablets don't seem to leave as much residue as traditional hexamine. I can hear it popping out now, so that will be the end. So what are my thoughts on the Meta 50? I can see how it's probably the granddaddy of all the storm cookers. I'm actually quite impressed. If it wasn't so expensive and difficult to get the Esbit tablets, I'd probably use something like this more often, because it's not very heavy at all. It would be nice if it had the complete set with the other pot and the ring. There's no snuffer or anything, but the Tatonka simmer ring will fit on the top. It won't fit over, but it will fit on the top of the burner. The tablets are quite easy to light, and yeah, it's a nice little bit of kit. It's quite compact and quite light. So it will be joining my other storm cookers, the Swedish Army Ranger stove, the Trangia 25, Trangia 27, and one that I'll be showing you later, the Optimus Ranger, which is a little gem of a stove. So, if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe if you want to see more. That's all for this week, folks, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.